Knows Best.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Monday. Let's get into the stories. I have some fun ones, some like not relationship-based ones that I thought would be fun to talk about. Let's just start. Am I the asshole for buying dishware at a thrift store before someone else could? I'm sorry, what? Is that not how shopping works? Do you guys remember when the Stanley Cups were like being dropped at Target? I just remember seeing videos of people going absolutely feral. Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of Black Friday, I almost said Best Friday. Black Friday, Best Buy, Walmart, like when TVs were like $1,000 off. Do you remember how insane people went? Now the Black Friday sales are like 5% off. It's like, what the fuck is that? But anywho. This happened a few weeks ago, and I can't stop thinking about it. I went to Goodwill and saw a really lovely set of wood plates and 2 matching bowls. I actually needed them for their intended purpose. Okay. Wait, what do you mean? I actually needed them for their intended purpose? Okay. Flex. I don't know why that's relevant. Isn't that why you buy anything? I was going to grab the stuff, but there was this woman standing in front of them with her phone out, loudly complaining about how she can't find the maker's mark on the dishware as the bottoms were left blank. I assumed she was one of those resellers as her cart was filled to the brim with glassware, and I did see a leather jacket in there too. I walked up next to her and asked if she was going to buy the dishes. She glared at me and said yes and told me to get lost. She was here first. So I just said, fine. No need to be rude, lady. It was a simple yes or no question. Okay, I'm gathering why she said that. A reseller, this is the first time I'm hearing about this, kind of, sort of. I'm guessing that people go into thrift stores and buy things, and then resell them, but this must be some sort of career. I mean, I've known people to like, I guess. I didn't know there was like really a term or this was like a very common thing. Like I knew, well, actually, my old roommate, she used to buy things, or I think she would clean out people's closets and then sell their stuff and give the people 50%. I guess that's kind of like an estate sale. Well, you can do an estate sale yourself. Stale, Brenna? What, a bag of chips? Sale? But there are like companies you can hire to like come in and do all of the work. Like if there's a lot of shit in a house, right? But I didn't know that it was like that common to see people in thrift stores that like do this. Okay, basically she saw them, but this other lady was looking at them and she's told her to fuck off. I'm buying them. Got it. I walked away to go look elsewhere and she was now looking in the books, but the wood dishes were not in her cart. I walked over, saw them still on the shelf and put them in mine. As I walked away, she came back and noticed I had them in my cart and she started flipping her shit, telling me she was going to buy those as they were from a super high-end artist. Then why did you not put them in your cart, lady? No. What? I'm sorry. Put them in your cart. If you knew they were high-end, that's insane behavior. That's actually insane. You were standing there. You had them in your hands. You were like looking at them. What? I'm sorry. What? You walked away. And also, like, how stupid are you? A girl specifically, this girl asked you as you were looking at them, even if you weren't sure about buying them. Like, if that were me and I was thinking about a purchase, let's say there were shorts that I thought were maybe cute, but I have to like think about it for 30 minutes. And a girl came up to me and was like, are you going to get those? I would just hold on to them. I would grab them, put them in my cart or carry them until I decided and then put them back if I didn't want them. Like, you knew this girl were interested and you left them there. That is 100% on you. That's not even like, I don't think this is a controversial take at all. You're an idiot. You're an actual idiot. I told her that she walked away from the shelf and left them there. If she really wanted them, she should have put them in her car. Exactly. She immediately started grabbing my cart and taking out everything from my cart as I found a hoodie thing called the Comfy and some vintage Pyrex in a collectible. I almost said comfortable. Collectible pattern. Okay, I don't know what any of this means. What do you mean this lady is grabbing your cart and taking everything out? Oh, this person is unhinged. This person is mentally ill. This person is not okay. Oh my gosh. She said I am taking money away from good people like her and that she was losing sales because of people like me buying shit to use and not resell. Is that not the whole idea of a thrift store? I actually think that if I were a thrift shopper, I try, you guys. Oh my gosh. I actually went, which this is a little bit different. I went to Clothes Horse Anonymous, which is a store here in Dallas that's like, not designer. I mean, kind of like designer consignment. I got a Frame dress, if you know the brand Frame, for $50. It was originally like $350 or $400. But I take things to the donation. I donate everything. Like if it's semi good condition, if it's like a household item, I'm taking it to Genesis, which is a thrift store, and I always go in there, but it's so overwhelming to me. Like I would love to be a thrifter, and I know that to become a thrift store shopper, you need to like get into that mindset of like you have to go through everything on the rack, and it's a process. And that's why I think people enjoy it. For me, I already don't want to shop longer than 30 minutes, and I just can't do it. I'll go to like the hoodie section, and I'll go to like the sections where I think I could find something, and then I don't, and then I'm pissed, and that's it. I really struggle with thrift shopping. In theory, I would love to, but I feel like if I were a thrift shopper, people coming in and buying things to resell, I feel like she's kind of in the wrong. Just in general, like looking at it holistically, not about like her grabbing the cart and losing her goddamn mind. Just in general, I feel like resellers are probably not very fond of in the thrift community because like also, yeah, what are you talking about? That's not what thrift stores are there for people to buy things and resell. It's like to reuse. She literally said, I am taking money away from good people like her, and that she was losing sales because of people like me buying shit to use and not resell. That's like the whole idea, right? I donate my clothes so other people can wear them. Oh my gosh, this person is not okay. I yelled to take her hands off of my shit. And by this point, an employee stalking nearby came over and asked what was going on. Can you imagine you're working in a thrift store and like there's a fight breaking out? Oh my gosh, have I told you guys? When I was in college, if I have not told this story, this needs to be like a full story time. Please let me know. I got a minor in college. We call it a minor. It's like underage drinking, which is so ironic because I didn't drink for the first time until I was like 20. And like, I'm telling you, this specific time that I was drinking was like my 5th time ever drinking. And like, I never did it. I went to every like college party, never drank. Like that was like my thing. I was like known for like being the sober queen. I would like drive my friends to like afterwards and drop them and take them to Taco Bell. And I loved it. Like, again, you guys know I've never been a big drinker. I was on a party bus and it got pulled over because a common thing in North Dakota, and I don't know if this is common in other places, people rent a party bus for their 21st birthday. But of course, when you're turning 21, some of your friends are also 21 and some of them are not. Because you're 21. Hello, there's still obviously some that are 20 and 19 and 18. But this was my boyfriend at the time's best friend, Daly. God bless him. He was so much fun, but he got this party bus. And was my boyfriend 21? I feel like he was. No, he wasn't, because he was on the run as well. Basically, what happened is some of the underage... Oh, and this is also what happens. The bus goes from tiny fucking town to tiny fucking town to tiny fuck... Like, all of these bumfuck towns in North Dakota, because we're in Fargo, so we're driving south, going to, like, these tiny little bars in these tiny little towns. Well, all of us that were 20 would just stay on the bus, obviously. And I drunk? I don't know. I guess maybe I was a bit tipsy because I never really drank. Anywho, there was this kid, Joey. God bless him. He was my friend John's brother. He wasn't 21 yet, but I don't know if he even had a fake, but he kept trying to go into the bars because he was like genuinely very good friends with Brendan Daly. I don't need to be saying their full names. Oh my God, Brenna. He was like best friends with him, and he kept trying to go in, and he was drunk, right? He's hammered. So he's like making a scene. Well, somebody called the police because he at the last bar was like making a scene and trying to get in, and like they weren't letting him in, and he like lost his shit. Well, our bus then gets pulled over by a police because somebody at that town said there are underage kids on this bus. We get pulled over, and the cop essentially is like, okay, come out, like if you're not 20 and you're drinking. So we all file out. We're in Abercrombie, North Dakota. I really didn't mean to make this a story time. Let me just like look up population of Abercrombie, ND. 257 people. Oh, 250, not even 300 people, you guys. Well, and I could tell you exactly what the whole town looks like because I saw it. We all file out and everybody starts running, right? And this cop says, the truth will set you free. Therefore, I stayed. I said, the truth will set me free. I'm going to be the good person that I am. I am drinking. I am underage. I'm not running, right? Well, because everybody and their goddamn mothers ran, I was the only one left. And then they did give me a minor. I said, you asshole, you told me that this wouldn't happen. I just remember going into his cop car because it was so cold out. Like it was winter in North Dakota. It was freezing outside. And then he was like, can we call your parents? How old was I? And I was like, my parents live in Bismarck. This is like 3 hours away. Like they're not coming to get me. Like I go to NDSU. I'm in Fargo. I didn't end up calling my parents, and I never told them. I still don't think they know. And basically why I'm telling you this story is because I went back and I had to do community service. I suppose, yeah, it's North Dakota. Minnesota, the whole like consequences of it aren't that bad, but because we were in North Dakota, I was literally the only one, you guys. I had to do how many hours? A lot of hours of community service, and my community service was working at a thrift store. I had to go and check in, and then basically I just tidied up the freaking thrift store. And you can imagine a thrift store in North Dakota, nobody comes in. I would just like hang things. I don't know. They would give me tasks. I remember hiding in the bathroom. I remember taking a pee break so often, and I got to choose when to go, but it was like so brutal. Like I was already working a full-time job, like working 70 hours a week, going to school, and then I had to go do community service. And it was so ironic because I never drank. I was like a good kid. Like I didn't even do anything. The reason I got this is because I didn't run. There were all of these fuckers that ran, and I didn't run. Oh, stupid. Anywho, back to the story. I'm sorry for that little intermission. I cannot imagine if I was working my community service at the thrift store and there are like people fighting. I'd be like, what is actually going on? What is going on right now? Okay, let me pull this back up. The lady tried to say that I stole stuff from her cart. I said she was stealing from mine. The reseller lady looked around and saw a different employee had taken her abandoned cart she left in the book section and was putting her stuff back. She freaked out, dropped my stuff, and ran after him. I looked at the employee, who then just waved me off, and I left with my purchases. This is actually crazy. This is insane. I told some people about it, and a close friend said I should have just given her everything because reselling is her job, and another friend agreed with her. No! What are you guys talking about? What? No. This is exactly what's wrong with people. And Hello, I'm the biggest people pleaser of them all. Like, I get what they were saying. Like, if it were me in this scenario, I probably would have been like, here, just take them. Only because I just didn't want to deal with the confrontation. Just because, like, number one, I probably didn't need the dishware. But, like, I would never tell my friend. Like, if my friend Natalie came to me and told me, I'd be like, no, she left it sitting there. You get to go and pick. She should have put it in her cart. Like, what are we talking about? And what do you mean it's her job? Ew, I get it. Like, these resellers, now I'm understanding, like, this must be like a literal job. But, like, then if that's your job, do better at said job. Put the thing in your cart. Like, what are you talking about? Your friends suck. But they only said that when I said the comfy was a $50 garment. I'm sorry, what does that have to do with anything? What does that literally have to do with anything? What does it matter what the items cost? Ew, I don't give a shit. And then she said, edit to add some context. My friend said they feel bad. She was reduced to being a reseller in this economy. Please be so fucking for real. Please be so ferociously fucking for real. Oh my gosh. No, she's not in the wrong at all. Like, that's not even a question. That's like literally, clearly, did I tell you guys? Oh my gosh, this is turning into like a Friday episode. Carter had like a recruiter that like called him and berated him for like basically the job that he got. He was already working with this recruiter woman from like months prior. Well, these recruiters online, they like send out, like when a job opportunity comes up, I'm guessing what they do, because this is their full-time job, they just like look up like this job was an entry level or like what is he called? A junior associate? No, he's not even a junior. A beginner associate? I don't know. It was like for people with 1 to 3 years experience. So what I think that these recruiters do is they just ship it out. They like look up on LinkedIn. Basically, this man sent him the job, just like cold emailed or cold LinkedIn DM'd. But then also the woman that he worked for brought it to his attention, right? And he'd been working with her. Will basically somehow, some way, like this man who like is from Houston, who doesn't know Carter at all, like literally just cold DM'd him, found his phone number, and somehow he learned that Carter went and interviewed, literally like threatened him that like, because they get a commission on if somebody that they recruit gets the job, right? Like this woman who helped Carter with like, and she does so much, like she helped with like the pre-interview, like what to expect after, like they went over it and like sending in your resume and cover letter, like they help you, and this woman has done that for him. Well, she will make a fat commission because on his like employee or like his application, he'll put that he was referred by her. It's similar, like if an associate, like if Carter brought somebody to the firm, he would get like a fat, I don't know, like tens of thousands of dollars bonus or like recruiting thing for bringing on somebody, right? She got that. Well, basically this random man who like cold DM'd him learned, and I don't know how, and that's like so fricked up, but he learned that Carter interviewed and like found Carter's phone number, and called him and like threatened him and was like, I sent you that, blah, 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 like literally was like crazy to Carter. And this is giving that vibe. Whereas like this girl, like I get it, reselling is your job and you lost out on those items. Number one, put them in your cart, but like clearly things are not going well for these people. Like this man who like called him and like literally threatened him, he literally was like, this is not good for you, blah, blah. Like Carter was like really in a tizzy about like whether he was going to tell Carter's current employer, because obviously he didn't tell them that he was interviewing, or he was going to sabotage this new job. Like I don't know, but it was insane. Anywho, let's move on. I'm talking too much. Am I the asshole for refusing to drive my friend to class every morning after they sold their car to buy an EDC ticket? I'm sorry, everybody knows where I'm gonna lie with this one. My friend and I go to the same university, but we live in different neighborhoods about 30 minutes apart. Up until recently, we both drove ourselves to class. Last month, my friend decided to sell his car to buy EDC tickets and some merch for his favorite DJ. If you don't know what EDC is, it's a music festival. This person sold their car to go to a music festival. Let that sink in. And buy merch from his favorite DJ. Okay. I thought it was kind of impulsive, but it's his money though. This week, he started asking me to drive him to class every morning, and I didn't mind giving him a ride once or twice when it was on the way, but then it turned into an everyday expectation. No. My friend calls me every night to make sure I'm still picking him up. And last night he called me again and I hesitated. He didn't seem to get that. What? He didn't seem to get me there and even said, well, you're driving there anyway. It's not that big of a deal. I'm sorry, this is not English. This is a full sentence, by the way, with commas. My friend calls me every night to make sure I'm still picking him up. And last night he called me again and I hesitated. He didn't seemed, this literally, it seemed ED. He didn't seemed get me there. Okay, well, basically we're just going to the friend is just assuming that he's going to drive him and expects him to drive him and feels entitled to that. This is going to be really cold and mean. Number one, before this man even bought or sold his car to buy the EDC tickets, it's a lot to expect your friend to drive you in general. Like, let's say you both showed up to college and this guy just didn't have a car. That's a lot to ask of a person, period. Right? Like, if I had a friend who constantly asked me and expected me to give them a ride, especially out of the way, even if it was on the way, like, that's like a burden, right? Like, that is them doing like a decently big task for you. Even if you lived in, like, let's say the same apartment complex, like, what if that person wanted to do something after? Like, that's just like a big ask in general. Number one. Number two, he lives out of the way. They live 30 minutes apart. Like, that is taking a significant amount of time out of this person's day to drive you. Full stop. And number three, when you then also tack on the fact that they sold their car to buy EDC tickets, I'm sorry. I know that people spend money how they want, and that's fine. But again, when it now becomes my burden because you sold your car to buy EDC tickets and now you just expect me to drive you anywhere and everywhere, like, what? No, absolutely not. But here's the thing. Picking my friend up isn't just a small detour. It adds about an hour to my round trip. I get that. And I end up rushing to find parking and settle before class. Also, he's not sharing some money for the gasoline. So I told him directly that I can't be his daily driver, especially since I have my own schedule and part-time job to juggle. My friend just kept saying, it's not cool, bro. Not cool. You're not cool. How do people, I cannot understand people who have no self-awareness. Like, I could ask somebody to do the smallest task and I'm like, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate and understand like what went into that small thing. You telling this person who's driving you every single day 30 minutes out of their way that it's not cool, that they don't want to drive you around. Like, how are you entitled? Like, I just cannot even understand that. I reminded him that selling his car and buying EDC tickets was also not cool if you can't afford it. Not my responsibility to cover for. Then he cut off the call while I'm still talking to him. Oh, what? I'm sorry, what? This person is just a shitty person. Like, to me, that's pretty cut and dry. Because he was right. What he said was correct. It was not cool that you sold your car to go to EDC and now expect your friend to drive you around. But he like couldn't listen to that, so he cut you off. He hung up the phone call. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's wrong on my side, but I want him to be responsible and not use me as a daily driver. Am I the asshole? No. I've never needed less confirmation on a story. No, not the asshole at all. That's actually insane. Insane. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just pulled up this story, which I was so excited to talk about, and it's deleted. Am I the asshole for being upset that my 30 male girlfriend, 29 female, openly compared my size to her ex during a girls' night? Let me paraphrase, or let me just like long story short, because it was deleted. Basically, okay, he's 30, she's 29. He went out and she had a girls' night at home. Her friends came over, they drank, they had a girls' night, blah, 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 blah. He comes home, right? Like, this seems to be like a good, healthy relationship. And the girls were leaving and they were tipsy. Like, everybody had been drinking, the girls, and I think he was a little bit tipsy, but whatever. The girls mainly is what I'm talking about. And one of them offhandedly, like, made the smallest comment about like second biggest, or like, you know, something along the lines, I'm not remembering now, like, enjoy, you know, the second biggest, or like something like that. And he was like, at first it didn't really click, and then he asked her, he was like, what did she mean by that? And of course she's tipsy as well. Again, I don't remember if he was, but she basically was just honest with him and said that in the girls' night, the conversation around guys' dick sizes came up, and they were all talking and comparing. And I think some of the other girls like had literal photos, right, of whoever they were dating. I don't know, which is like fucking crazy to me, but I digress. They were all talking about it and comparing, and she had said that her now boyfriend's was second biggest to her ex. Like, the ex was bigger, right? Again, to her girlfriends, off the cuff, whatever. And he had also mentioned the fact, I'm not remembering all the details, but like, they had had conversations before, just the two of them in the relationship, that everything was good. And she always said that like size was important, and like she obviously never, and he probably never asked, but she like candidly told him that. And I wanted to bring this up because I think that they're 29-year-old girls. Like, I get it. You know, you have conversations with your girlfriends or your friends. I mean, at some point, especially with a serious partner, like, that would just never come up. Like, I'm not talking to my best friend Natalie about, we talk about our sex lives, obviously, but like those details, like, that's just like so unnecessary, right? Unless, like, let's say, because she's engaged, I'm now married. Like, let's say you have a friend who's like dating somebody and like the size is like an issue, and it gets brought up that way. Like, that kind of makes sense, and they're like asking for advice. But like, when you're in a serious, like, I just don't, if that were the case, like, number one, I don't even know if I would share that with my friends, because like, why would you? You shouldn't fabricate your relationship to your friends. Like, I don't believe in that at all. Like, especially if things are bad. But like, with something like that, like, I would never like tell my girlfriends that, but like, whatever. Besides that, like, you can do that. I understand how that happened, but to then repeat that to your boyfriend. And also, I feel like that was inappropriate of your friend to say on the way out. She was drunk. I get it. But like, that's exactly why you don't say that to your friends, because now she said that, and now your boyfriend heard that, and you have to explain. Oh, yeah, that's a bad deal. Okay, this next one is kind of random, but I was curious your thoughts, because I actually don't know where I stand on this one. Like, I don't know the common courtesy. It has to do with like home ownership. Am I the asshole for not telling my neighbor I'm having a fence installed? My husband and I recently bought a home and decided to have sections of fence installed to close off our backyard so our dogs don't get out. One of our neighbors has a wire fence between their yard and ours. We are having two small sections of fence from our house and from our shed to their fence just to close things off. We went through a company, gave them the property survey showing the property lines, and they got a permit from the city. My husband and I didn't even think to tell our neighbor we were doing this. We aren't connecting to their fence or building along the entire property line, just building up to the property line. We even have a small gap at each section since their fence apparently isn't on the property line. The woman who lives next door came over very angry, visibly shaking, and was mad we didn't tell them and worried that we were encroaching. My husband and I feel really bad, but we don't really think we did anything wrong. That's the story. I mean, technically speaking, if it's on your property and it's in your property lines, you can do whatever you want. Now, I think that maybe the common courtesy thing to do, which I'm gathering from reading the comments, is to tell your neighbor, but it's also like it's not in their yard. Like, I mean, yeah, you could give them a heads up, like, hey, we're putting up a fence for our dogs. It's like, okay, you can do that. It's yours. I feel both ways. Like, yeah, now hindsight, because this woman is upset. And again, I don't know the basic like rules of like being neighbors and like what you tell people, right? Like I've never lived in a house. I actually finally just met our neighbors. I think I spoke about this. And the dad I met, and then now I've met the daughter. And like I hope in the future when we have a home, we'll like be friendly with the neighbors. Not like I don't want to be friends, but when we move in, I would love to like, hello, like catch them outside, or like, hopefully we'll be able to, I've been waiting to run into our current neighbors now, just to like say hello, like if you guys need anything, like just to know who your neighbor is, right? And then that way, like if this happened, obviously we're renting and therefore we can't like do anything, but let's say that this was my neighbor and we are putting up a fence, I would hope to have just like a relationship in general. That way I could be like, oh, hey, Samantha, by the way, like we're putting up a fence, just want you to know. But like clearly they just bought the house and they don't know the neighbor and this woman. Like I feel that the woman is also probably older. It's like change, you know, who knows how long this woman has lived there and like what she looks at, you know, let's say she has a patio and her like wired fence, like it's going to change, but it's also like you're allowed to do that. Let me read the first comment. Technically not the asshole, but it would be common courtesy to let the neighbor know that you're building a fence close to the property line and that you had the survey done to make sure that you would not be encroaching. Just save other people the trouble of being surprised or worried. The girl commented, she said, we feel terrible. This is our first home and neither of us lived in a city as kids, so it didn't even cross our minds. In retrospect, it makes sense that it would be courteous to let them know, but we honestly didn't even think about it. Do you have any suggestions on how to apologize? Which this person sounds so sweet, but yeah, I also wanted to bring this up because this is something that I never thought of. Like, yeah, I guess what if you're doing something to your house, which on one hand, yeah, it's none of anybody's business, but like if you want to be like a good neighbor, and the fence I kind of get because it's going to be like up and who knows how tall, and people do worry about, you know, like if I saw my neighbor putting up a fence, it's like, oh, I hope that they got the property line and like they're in their yard, right? Because I get it. You own this piece of land, but it's also like, yeah, I think most people would make sure that that's happening. Like there's a survey done, right? You know, unless like somebody started and like the fence was clearly like, I'm like, whoa, like, is this in our yard? You know, like, is this the property line? But then you just like ask. I don't know. I thought that was interesting and I wanted to bring it to your attention. Okay. Am I wrong for not telling my friend that I have her location? Oh! My friend Kate is a single mom with a 6-year-old daughter from her prior marriage. Earlier this year, Kate sent me her location as she asked me to pick her up from a friend's house. Over the summer, Kate asked me to babysit her daughter as she took care of various errands, went out to dinner, or work a second part-time job. However, she is never back home on time. She often blames traffic or other factors, such as family calling her for last second favors, as to why she's often late. So, one night while going through my phone, I realized that Kate never turned off her location sharing and that she's been sharing her location since the party. I use it to see that she's at a restaurant when she tells me she went out. However, after being late one night and when I asked her where she was at, she answered with, "Just got here, still haven't ate yet," which is suspicious seeing how her location shows her being there for nearly 2 hours now. She didn't get home until 3 hours after that. I decided not to confront her about this quite yet. Let me just give my initial thoughts. I get being a nosy bitch because I am one. Right? If I have somebody's location, I've told you guys this, I used to be insane. Like I would check that thing. It was like a social media. I'm like, what are my friends doing? Even though like it wasn't like in a weird, I mean, I guess if you're hearing this, it probably sounds weird, but it's just like, oh, Natalie's at work. Oh, everybody's at work. Everybody's like doing what they normally do. But like I would just check. It was honestly just a habit, which now I only have Natalie and therefore I know exactly where this bitch is and I never check it anymore. But I understand being nosy. Oh, like I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing, right? But where she's like already kind of losing me, I mean, it's none of your business. Here's the thing. It's similar to that story. Did we have that last week where like the girl was out for so long and didn't answer and blah, blah, blah. Like if it's a recurring thing that like she's always late and never on time, like that's a separate conversation. Like you don't need to know her location to like have that conversation and be like, you asked me to babysit for this long and that's what I was assuming. And every time you're late, like that's the conversation. Like the location doesn't need to be brought into it. Those are my first thoughts. As the summer goes on, I use her location to spot more lies or suspicious things. When asked to watch her kid while she gets an oil change, I then see that she's at the beach. Another night, she said she was at a restaurant and waiting for a friend when her location shows her at someone's house. Another case is when she tells me she's almost home when her location shows that she's in her parking spot at her apartment, but is just sitting there for some reason. Okay, well, here's the thing. You obviously have caught that she lies, but like then quit watching her child. Or like, how many times do you need something to happen to like, okay, clearly she's a liar. Clearly she does things that she's not doing or whatever. She's saying she's here, she's there, whatever. That's like, that we now know. You have plenty of confirmation. Like, then stop watching her child. Like, if it bothers you, right? And it is. Like, I get it. She's not being considerate of your time. If she's telling you that something will take, like, you don't need to know where she is, right? Like, this is your friend. Like, what if she's telling you that, but she can do whatever the fuck she wants, right? Like she might just be telling you that because she doesn't want to explain like what she's actually doing. She doesn't owe you anything. It's a problem. Again, back to like the location doesn't matter. It's the fact that she's telling you she's going to be gone. She's going to be gone a long time or a certain amount of time and then she's gone longer. Like that's the issue, right? Anyhow. Lastly, she told me that her brother was overdosing on drugs and she needed to get him to the ER, so I came over to watch her kid. Well, her location showed her going to her brother's house, but never the hospital. I asked her if she went there, and she tells me, yeah, we just got out to the ER, not knowing that her location shows her still at her brother's house. Yeah, you're just kind of like, at this point, you're just being, it's hard. Like, the location thing is just like your super secret spy. Like that's just a side thing. Oh, it's not good that she's a liar. It's not good, like so on and so forth. But like, again, you know this about her, right? It's one thing, again, if there is an emergency, that's so kind of you to help out, but I think you just need to like stop being friends with this girl and stop babysitting. Like, that's it. I finally confront her when she gets home at nearly 1 a.m. that night. I tell her that I know she's been lying and went to these different places when she said she went somewhere else. Kate now responds that the pressure of having a second job has caused her to need to go and cry and be alone. She claims that the beach has a special place in her heart and she goes there to think and be alone. That's what I was saying. Like, she's probably lying, but like, God knows. And she doesn't owe you, like, she doesn't need to tell you everywhere that you're going or she's going. Like, she needs you to watch the baby. And again, like, I also can understand because I feel this way at times. Like, when I need something, I can't think about it with other people, but like, I need to justify it. Like, yeah, if I were a single mother and like I just needed a break, like, even though I could ask a friend and they're like, yeah, go take a break, like, in my own head I feel I need a justification for it. So like, I could see like lying to be like, oh, I have this thing, just to like not have to deal with like the questions and like you know what I mean? It's similar to, I don't know, like, I get it. Like, I've definitely probably lied in the past when it comes to something, just because like I didn't want to have to further explain something else. So it's like, oh, like, I'm going to this thing, right? When I just need a goddamn second of like peace and mind to like go cry. Like, I get that. And oh yeah, see that again, the stalking of the location, I understand. And like, now you know that she lies and like whatever, but like it went on too long. Like, you were clearly growing resentful and should have just like brought up the fact that she never gets back at the time she said she was, but like, that's a separate thing. Oh, duh. She then claims that her brother's overdose wasn't as bad as they thought it was, so she never ended up going to the ER. But now Kate says that me having her location this whole time is so creepy and wrong. The fact that I've been secretly tracking her location without telling her that she forgot to turn it off is very deceptive. And although she knows she's wrong for lying about where she was at, I'm wrong for not telling her about this sooner. Am I wrong for not telling her that I was tracking her? She has since asked me to babysit again and promises that she's being honest about where she's going, but I told her that I can't trust her now. I feel like they're both right. I feel like this is a scenario where they're both right. Like, you were valid in your, like, on one hand, like, again, you don't need to know where she's going, but she is asking you to babysit, and therefore I do feel like you were owed honesty. How you found that out, it's similar to like going through your man's phone and finding something you don't like. Like, two things can be true at once. It's like not okay to go through your man's phone, right? Like, again, that is true, but also he was cheating or lying or doing whatever that was. Right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Both of them are wrong. That's exactly what happened here. It's similar. Like, it's like going through the phone. It's like she was like stalking her, and it is a little bit creepy, and like caught her in this lie. And she admitted that lying is bad and like it's not okay. She did have like a valid reason though, kind of. Like, not that it's okay to ever lie. I get that. However, like, she just, again, I get that, because sometimes you just like don't want to have to justify yourself, and like you just need help. Like, she's a single mom, but it's like, just be more forthcoming. But like, yeah, I think they're both in the wrong. Yeah. The first comment says, she's been using you without an explanation, so you've been looking for answers. There's no secret here. She shared this with you. I'd tell her that as a condition of watching her kid, and this is nonsense. Oh, and this nonsense, how she is places where she says she isn't. Oh, I think they're just kind of talking in slang. That if she wants to continue using you for help, she needs to be back when she says, right. Tracking is meh, but she clearly has issues that needed to be addressed. Right. But like, I understand how she feels violated, because like, if I had a friend that I didn't realize I had sent my location and has been tracking me, that would feel weird. That would feel really freaking weird. It feels like an invasion of privacy, even though she did share it. Like, you know how you can share, if you don't know, you can share indefinitely, which is like all the time. You can share for an hour, or you can just share like your current location, and like just one of these three options, and she probably didn't know that she did it indefinitely, or she maybe thought she shut it off and didn't. I understand she did it in the first place, but I understand the violation. Yeah. Oh, okay. Next. Oh my gosh, I haven't been saying next. What the frick? Will I be the asshole for getting an Airbnb instead of staying at my in-laws' mountain house? My 30 female husband's 33 male family has a beautiful vacation home in the mountains. His parents co-own it with his sister, 45 female, and the house is very much set up for their immediate families. There are 2 main bedrooms with private bathrooms for his parents and the sister and her husband, a bedroom with 2 twin beds for my sister-in-law's kids, 14 female and 9 female, and a double bedroom for my brother-in-law, 48 male, developmentally disabled, and there's only 1 bathroom upstairs. When we visit, we take the double bedroom and my brother-in-law ends up on the pull-out couch. I feel bad because that cannot be fun with a 48-year-old back. The double bed is also really tight for us. My husband is 6'1" and a big boy. She put it in parentheses, complimentary. He's a big boy, complimentary. That's hilarious. And I'm 5'8", so neither of us sleeps well. Sharing a bathroom with 3 other people, 2 being children, is also not my favorite. I get that. I already see where this is heading and I'm on her side. As bratty as it sounds, I feel like this setup is kind of beneath me as a married adult. I get that. We love spending time with them, and I love the communal aspect of all being together, but I dread sleeping there. I get maybe 4 hours of sleep per night when we stay. It's been years, and it just never gets better. The undercurrent of all of this is my husband has always felt like the odd one out. We joke he's a sitcom character added in the final season. His parents didn't believe he was going to get married or have kids and clearly set this house up with the intention of my husband taking the pull-out couch on the off chance he joins for one of those weekends. If we do decide to grow our family, which we are discussing, we won't have choice but to get an Airbnb as there won't be room for us all. Would I be the asshole if we got an Airbnb next time? Can I tell my mother-in-law that her lovely house just isn't good enough? Okay, well, maybe don't word it like that. There are many nearby, but your accommodations aren't good enough for me is so rude when they're being nice by hosting us. Okay, well, like, that's crazy. Your accommodations, I get what she's saying. I think she's saying that, like, that's what the mom would feel. Like, your accommodations aren't good enough for us. Like, I don't think she's explicitly, like, going to say that, but, like, right, it is rude. And that's how they're going to take it. No matter how you word it, that's how it's going to be taken. She also put an edit. I would obviously not use the exact phrasing above, but felt like I couldn't articulate the problem in a way that wouldn't be interpreted as such. Everyone has been really helpful in coming up with gentle phrasing, and I think, oh, okay, she said, thank you, Reddit. You are not the asshole. Sleep and your accommodations are so important, and as we get older, like she said, as bratty as it sounds, I feel like the setup is kind of beneath me as a married adult. I don't know what married has to do with it, but I just think as we age, like, you just want to live comfortably. Like, when you're 19, 20, when you're young, you're a kid, like sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the couch, like doing whatever is so much easier. But like, as you get older, you just want to be comfortable. And it's important because here's the other big thing, like how you sleep and like getting a good night's rest and just feeling comfortable in a space like sets you up for the day. Like if I don't get good sleep and I'm like miserable, like I'm just not going to have a good day, and it's going to ruin like the whole trip. And it's also just nice to have your own space. Like when I go on vacation, like I just want my own space and my own room and somewhere that's like ours, right? Like I completely understand that. You're not the asshole. It is going to be hard to tell them. I think that's like something your husband can say to her unless you have a good relationship. Like, we love the house. We'll come and hang out all day long, but we just want to like sleep in a bigger bed and sleep together and have our own bathroom. Like, I think anybody would understand that. Like, I imagine when I'm an adult and like, let's say we have a home somewhere and like the accommodations are like this, like you could understand why somebody might not want to stay there. Again, you know, moms, I feel like, are sensitive and they take things personally and they want everybody together. And like, not to say she's going to be hurt, because she probably will be, but like, that's just like a motherly, like, just, you know, she's hurt but not hurt. Like, if she were in that scenario, I think a lot of people would want to do the same thing that you're doing, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think you're the asshole. I think you're just going to have to like let them know kindly, but you need to do, and like say that. Like, I would just explain like, yeah, I just never get that good of sleep. Like, we don't love sharing. Like, it's so nice. Thank you so much. But like, we just want our own space, and like, just be okay with the fact that they're probably going to be a little bit butthurt, but like, do what's best for you. Cause like, and share that it'll be better for everybody. Like, we'll be better. Like, we'll go home, we'll get our good night's sleep, we'll wake up, like, we'll be refreshed, and we'll come hang out. Like, who gives a shit? People often like lose their minds over the dumbest things. It's like, actually, no, this is better. Actually, this is better for everybody. It's like the story I've told you guys a million times when I go out to my friend Garrett's lake house way back in the day, and there'd be a big group of people, and I would go to bed early because I just want to, and they would come and try and wake me up and pull me out to the party. And it's like, you guys don't actually need me. You guys don't actually give a shit. You're getting drunk and like having fun. There's like tons of other people, but like, we hyper focus on this one thing. And guess what? They would leave me alone. We'd wake up in the morning and they all had a great time, and I don't give a shit. It's like, everybody's good. Like, people oftentimes make a bigger deal out of like small things, and it's like, no, it's really like, who cares where I'm sleeping? Like, we can hang out all day at this mountain house. We can have the best night. We'll stay until 10 p.m., but then we'll just like drive to our Airbnb and sleep there. Like, really, at the end of the day, we'd just be going to our room anyway. So who really cares? And it's like, oh, but you won't wake up and be here. It's like, please, we'll come right over. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Next. And I think this is the last story, you guys. Oh, this one's going to be a little bit controversial, but I just feel like it needs to be said. Am I the asshole for sharing my weight loss as what I'm proud I accomplished this year? And my friend then says, I'm fat phobic. Ow! The other night, my friends and I were talking about what we're proud about accomplishing so far this year. We went around the room to share a few things and hype each other up. This was a group of 5 people. My first one was losing 40 plus pounds of weight since July 2024 and still being consistent. Between you and me, 30% of the reason why I lost weight was for my health, but the other 70% was for looks. Being overweight doesn't look good on my frame, and I feel and look so much better. I'm also losing the weight slowly and healthily. Healthy. Brenna, what? Slowly and healthy. I want to add an LY. Is that even a word? Okay, let's just move on. With whole foods and calorie counting, and not once have I felt starved or obsessive over my food. That's actually phenomenal. And it's a hard thing to do because I cannot relate. But I didn't even say all of that. I only said that I'm proud I've lost 40 pounds and counting, and I feel so much better. Hats off to you. Amazing. I think that's incredible. I mentioned other things too, career and mental health accomplishments, which your mental health accomplishments also have to do with weight loss. I don't want to be annoying, and I never say these things like on short form content because it can get taken out of context, but like, being healthy, being in a good healthy weight for your height, whatever that is, right, is good for you, and it's good for your mental health. Like, diet and exercise and like illness. In my major in college, I was an exercise science major. Like, the one thing that was driven home is like, your increases, what, Brenna? Your chances of getting like illness, chronic illness, just like acute, whatever the thing is, like, go up astronomically for being overweight and like not eating healthy and not working out. Mental health as well. Like, your mental health, like every single thing health related, mental, physical, like physiological, like cellular level can and will get better if you eat good and exercise. Like your chances, why can I not say this correctly? Your chances of like illness like decrease significantly. Like the one thing that will lower your chances of heart disease, of all sorts of diseases, right? Lower significantly if you eat right and exercise. And like, I don't know why that's controversial to say. I get it. Like because people take it to like body positivity. Nobody's saying anything but like scientifically proven, like if you are overweight, right? If you have the high BMI, like in the obesity range, right? Like that is not good for your health. Like that is just a fact. I'm sorry if that's like offensive, but like that is literally just a fact. It's like the only reason I like eat right and take care of myself, because my mental health, like I just feel good. I'm like really scared. I definitely have health anxiety, which I think we all do. Like, let's be fucking for real, because nobody wants to die, but like, because I want to like never have diseases, and like I just want to take care of myself, and like that's not a controversial thing. And that doesn't mean like, and everybody else's like healthy weight is different on them, right? Like I see things online and I'm like, can we just like bare bones just be so fucking for real, right? Like I can't. Anywho, okay, I already know where this is going, but like good for her, that's amazing. And like I understand. And if you are at a place with your weight where you are insecure and maybe you want to lose weight, or you're like trying to like be more body positive, or you are insecure, that is going to trigger people, which it shouldn't, because like people talking about themselves, it's like any sort of opinion. It's like if I said like I hate, I don't know, when people wear black shoes, or no, I don't like black shoes myself, like black sneakers, I just like do not like them. That doesn't mean that I like don't like them on somebody else. Like I don't give a shit what other people do, but like I understand being like, oh, well, I love them, and that's fine. We have different opinions, but like that's exactly it. Like just because somebody wants that for themselves, it has nothing to do with you. It's not like them telling you that you need to lose weight and whatever. Like that's not, we oftentimes on social media take things from here to fucking there, and it just like doesn't need to be taken there. Again, two things can be true at once. Somebody can like want to lose weight and they can feel great and wonderful, but that doesn't mean they're saying something about you, right? Okay, let me keep going. I mentioned other things too, career and mental health accomplishments, but I noticed everyone was kind of quiet when I said my first one. Very long story short, one of my friends later told me that she didn't want to hype me up on my weight loss accomplishment because she said it has twinges of fat phobia in it. That unless I lost weight for health alone, to do it for looks is unhealthy and has roots in fat phobia. BFFR. Shut the fuck up. That my biggest accomplishment shouldn't be about making myself smaller. Like, y'all, you take it there. Here's my problem with like woke people. I'm so sorry if you're this person, but like, you're the ones making everything miserable. Like, you're the one taking it there. Like, I would never think that. Like, if somebody said that, I'd be like, that's amazing. Like, if that's your accomplishment, it would also be like saying, like, if a mom, like, let's say that there's a woman who's like a boss ass woman, right? And then she decides to be a stay-at-home mom, and her accomplishment is that, like, no longer being like, some people would be like, oh, like, you quit, you're like, that's your accomplishment. It's like, that's her accomplishment. Or vice versa. Like, if a stay-at-home mom then wanted to be a boss, like, amazing. Like, whatever your own opinions are, like, oh, but like the fat phobia thing is just like insane to me. It's at like, it's not about making herself smaller. She feels better. Like, oh, shut the frick up. My friend Natalie tells me stories about a girl that's like in her friend group that is this way, who just like constantly, well, they were on a bachelorette trip. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. Sorry, Natalie, if this gets you in trouble. And basically, like, there was one girl there who like looked bomb. Like, she had essentially a six-pack, whatever. And like, I don't know if people were constantly saying it, but people were like making comments, being like, you look insane. Like, you look incredible. And then this girl's like, oh, can we not comment on people's bodies? It's like, just because you're hyping somebody else up, or like whatever the thing is, it doesn't mean you're tearing somebody else down who doesn't look like that. Like, again, like, people, there is nuance. Like, not even nuance. It's just like, you can compliment somebody without then turning that around. It's like saying like, oh my gosh, your brown eyes are beautiful, and somebody's standing there who has blue eyes. It's like they're not shitting on the person with blue eyes. They're just commenting like, oh, I just like really needed to get this off my chest, I think. What gets me is that all of my friends are skinny and have been their entire lives. It just feels a bit rich coming from them. I need to start saying that. Feels a bit rich. That's such a good little phrase. I have also never ever mentioned my weight loss goals to them, rubbed it in their face, or put them down, nor insulted fat people, because I just don't think that way. Exactly. It definitely put a sour taste in my mouth. If I can guess what my friend would say if she spoke about this topic further, her question would be, why do you perceive yourself as looking better when you're thin versus when you're fat? You must value skinniness over fatness or consider it more beautiful, and that is fatphobic. I don't know. Am I the asshole? No, not the asshole. She does have an edit. I did not want to put this in my original post as to not sway opinions, but the friend who said this to me has gained weight in the past year, acknowledged by her, and has mentioned not fitting into a lot of clothes lately, but she is still overall thin and petite. I do not think she is jealous of me or intimidated by me. She has the most successful dating life out of all of us and is constantly approached. I'm the one with chronic dating woes. LOL. I felt the accomplishments she shared were honestly the most impressive of everybody's. Though she's gained some weight, I do not feel she's projecting that onto me. One time we were watching a 90s music video and this same friend commented, why are they all skinny? AKA, where is the body diversity? The only comment I've ever made on one of my friend's bodies, a gay male, was complimenting him in an outfit he wore. Okay, tiny waist. He later said something where he implied that made him uncomfortable, to which I apologized, and he said, no, it's okay. I'm just worried what that says about you though. Be so fucking for real. We've all gone too soft. Like what? Oh my gosh. I get it. As a society, we need to like advance and whatever, but like it's like just like a thing that you say, okay, snatched waist. Like it's oh my God. AKA implying that I value smaller bodies is better or something. Even still, I absolutely did not make the comment I did in my OP with those previous instances in mind or with the intention to brag or trigger them. I think my friends truly think they're being anti-prejudiced by speaking up this way or not cheering me on for losing weight. In this case, this is also stupid. This is all like chronically online bullshit, even though it happened in real life. Can we not? Like, just let her be proud. She feels better. She thinks she looks better. Like, I don't think that's a sin. I don't think that's crazy. Those are my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, I hope that that didn't upset anybody. I imagine you guys are all like me. Like, you get it. I just like, I can't with the constantly being offended by things that like literally have no right. Like, she was just saying that's her accomplishment. Again, like if it was something you don't agree with, if somebody, let's say their accomplishment was like getting pregnant, and let's say I'm a 20-year-old who like does not want to be pregnant, like that doesn't, it's not an attack, or like it's similar to the thing. I know this is going to be so freaking triggering, but like when women online make jokes about like not being pregnant, like when you thought you're pregnant, thank God, whether they're married, whether they're not, and then the people who have a hard time conceiving come out of the woodworks and are like, oh, some women would die to be pregnant. It's like, again, both of those things are true, but it doesn't mean that that person, like for her in her life right now as a single 22-year-old who's just around dating and had a one night stand, that's a good thing. Like that doesn't mean no shit. It just like literally drives me insane. Anywho, I feel like maybe that was a bad note to end on, but I think you guys will appreciate it because you guys are all like me for the most part. Of course, we have different opinions and things, but anywho, thank you so much for being here as always. I hope you had the best weekend. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you on Friday. Okay, bye guys.